This is Kenny Demershi from Utah State University. In this video, we will demonstrate how to edit points and lines and export points and lines from Leica Geomatics Office. So I'm in the points window. I'll go to the view edit window. And as mentioned earlier, it's a little difficult to get around in LGO. So right now I'm just using the scroll button on the mouse, in and out, left and right. You can use the arrows or the scroll bar, up and down, same thing. So if you right click anywhere in the view edit window and then view lines areas, this will bring up the line work. And here's the list of lines. So if you click on any line, it brings up the line properties over here. So in the line properties area, I can right click a point. I could add another one or remove this particular highlighted point. So you can edit points that way. Alternatively, if we go, let's find the end of a line here. Now, let's say I wanted to extend this particular line. I could right click and then add points to line or add start point. I'm going to add to the end, so this is the start point. And then if I click here, I'm just adding an end point to that line. And I right click in this area to stop editing that line. So if I click on the line, right click, add point to line. So it's going to input. What I'll do is input this point to this line. Okay, so that's another way to edit lines. So I right click, stops the altercation of the line. Now with points, if I right click on a point, go to properties and thematic data, I could change the code here. So if I go back to the points tab, I can select a few points and then right click, edit thematic data, go to the default. Now I could change the code for this whole group of points. Code is thematic data, sometimes known as description in the champ world. Alright, so let's assume that I have all my edits complete, and now I want to export. So sure enough, I go to export, and there's I export data in two formats: the lines in a shapefile format, the points in an ASCII. So this is the export ASCII window, and select the proper location. Blacksmith Fork, Curtis Creek, LGO. I will create an export folder. And go to the settings tab. These settings are very important. So what you want to do is match what I have. Make sure you're exporting orthometric height. That's very important. I could export the ellipsoid height, but that's not ground height. And the coordinate system is local grid. So you should be using these settings. And this is the coordinate order: point ID, northing, easting, ortho height, code, time, coordinate quality, annotations. Classes use these settings. Coordinate system. This will always default to whatever the project properties are. So select OK, and then export. Now I'll browse to the location of what we exported. So here's the CSV we just exported. There are no annotations in this particular file. Okay, and note that I have periods and spaces in these headers. Sometimes certain programs don't like that, so just be aware of that. You may have to edit these for imports into some programs. Would you like to keep the time in there for any analysis that might occur? And this is coordinate quality. Anyway, that's the exported text. So back into LGO, exporting lines, shapefile. Once again, browse to location. Check your settings, and all of these settings should be set on your computer. I don't export the points as a shapefile. The reason is there's a different shapefile for each code, and I don't like that. So I'm just exporting lines. And all of your settings should be as such. You can actually survey areas as polygons. We don't normally do that, but it can be done. It's actually kind of handy at times. So select OK, and then save. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't give this a name either. It will actually be named for the code. So we'll take a while for this to export. So we'll take a timeout. Okay, it's in the process of exporting. So I'm in the process of browsing to the shapefile that I exported. You can see all these parts of the shapefile. What the hell? So I was noticing here that the shapefiles they have a name, the code. They should be called no code line. So what happened is this is an old data set, and if you check the properties of the line, you can see the line is coded as a toe, and I don't normally do that. So this old data set, the lines were coded. I don't normally do that. So it looks a little awkward, but it'll be fine. So the shapefiles will go right into GIS. And then the importing of the points, it can be done with the Add XY tools. So that data has been exported from LGO and is ready to import into GIS. The end of this video.